let's talk about how jacked up the market is right now. At the peak of inflation rates, we saw mortgage rates push up to about 7.5 to 7.7%. And how mortgage rates work is the market, as we call it, basically the stock market. They're hedging their bets based upon whatever communications, tones, basically whatever the government's doing. And they're trying to get ahead of it to make money. So if we go back to in September, the federal government comes out and says they're going to cut interest rates. They're going to start cutting their Fed rate. And I'm going to tell you, it was Christmas in September for everybody in the real estate industry. We saw rates drop to almost 6% in a matter of 10 days. And then because of a knee-jerk reaction, nothing has changed. It was just the communication that the government said they're going to start cutting rates. And they anticipate it to be X number of rates. I think at the time it was, what was that, 8 cuts over the next 12 months is what they were anticipating. And we start doing rate cuts, okay? So let's say we go 10 days later after the announcement, the market digests and the interest rates go back up to like almost 7%. What's interesting is we start doing these rate cuts, but the market doesn't react because it's already priced in what's supposed to be the rate cuts. And then come along yesterday, the market's like, the government goes, we're not going to have 4 rate cuts in 2025. We're going to have 2 rate cuts in 2025, but we did do the 4 rate cuts here in 2024 that we said we were going to do. What happens? The market goes bananas. And we're now seeing interest rates try to push back to where they were before any rate cuts. It's like the market doesn't recognize what's really going on and what we have gained. And there's really no control over that any one person can have. Some of the research tells me that a lot of this has to do with the government spending and issuing treasuries. So unless the government stops spending money, which you and I both know is never going to happen, we aren't going to see a big appetite come in for people to try to buy bonds, which impacts our mortgage rates. So the real answer is trying to forecast, when do mortgage rates come down? And the answer is we have no idea. Because the tactical analysis of everything about to forecast the future, right? The trends and the reversals and all, it hasn't worked. We've been saying that rates are supposed to come down for the last 18 months because it was all inflation driven. And inflation got better. We don't feel like it, but inflation rate got better. We're seeing it tick back up a little bit right now, which is kind of based upon what we're replacing. But the inflation's gotten better, but rates haven't. So here's my one piece of advice. Out of all this, don't play the market. We have no idea what's going to happen with mortgage rates. We really don't. They could go up, they could go down. That's about the only thing we know. If you buy a home and you're at 7%, and let's say rates go to 10%, you're going to be happy. If you buy a home at 7% and rates go to 5%, you're going to be happy because you're going to refinance it. The biggest pain point is trying to figure out how can we swallow the affordability problem today before it gets worse. And I'm going to tell you, the market's not making sense. Yesterday didn't make sense. And hopefully there is better on the horizon. I have to believe there is. But, with all this presidency change and politics plays such a huge role in the marketplace that maybe we'll see something change after we, have inauguration and stuff like that. I mean, I'm hopeful. But the way things are reacting, I'm not seeing it yet. So we'll see. That's my TED Talk.